This might be our last show. For the meantime, we're going to take a week break. We're just going to take a week break. We're not going to record next week. We've got a lot going on. My son's birthday, and he's turning 2 years old. You know, the terrible twos are starting. And,
Yeah.
And he's been early to the game, though, man. It feels like he's been terrible twos for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
Right?
I think he's an early bird when it comes to that, man. Yeah, so love the boy, man. Love him. I'm having a lot of fun with him, man. At this age, I think this is my favorite age right now, dude. You know, he's become a little person, and, you know, I'm just having a blast with this kid. So
And pretty soon he's going to be at the age where he can introduce him to video games. So it's going to be even more fun for you, you know.
I can't wait, yeah.
So that's going to be cool.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to take a week break, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, Easter break, yeah. Good Friday, you know, and all that. And I got my anniversary, too. My wedding anniversary.
And then we'll get caught up, whatever happened that week. We'll get caught up on the...
It'll probably be a longer show. It might be, depending what happens. I mean, this week was kind of a slow... Kind of until yesterday, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of a slow news week, you know. But we got some stuff to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you want to take it away.
So I want to get kind of like backtrack on the Nintendo. So what's going on so far with the whole tariff thing?
Plus, we missed out. There's some things we didn't mention. Same thing with me. I got a lot to backtrack on from last episode.
So like, there's a lot of things that was going on with tariffs so far. It's all at a pause. So what happened was, I forgot to bring this up. I don't know if I brought this up or not in the last video, but the last video I brought up how Nintendo basically said they stopped pre-orders. They put a halt to pre-orders in the United States. Mm-hmm. And I believe the other countries were okay, but the United States for certain was they stopped the pre-orders. I think they stopped pre-orders in Canada as well. And there's a huge issue, a big old problem. It gets pretty bad because after the pause, of course, the pause happened, and so now, okay, good. Nintendo's gonna bring them back, and supposedly, I guess they're planning on building up Vietnam, right? It's Vietnam. They're building up their stock because that's where they make Nintendo's at, and the Nintendo Switch 2. They make it Vietnam, and I guess Vietnam is gonna pick up the orders so that way they could try to mass produce here in the States. Now, there's some issues because we have scalpers kicking in. The scalpers are flooding in. They're flooding in.
Yeah.
And
bastards.
Of course, you know.
I get it. It's a business and you want to make a quick buck. I get it, but damn you scalpers.
Exactly.
Man. Damn you scalpers. It's not fair for the rest of us that aren't quick enough to get our hands on it.
And I guess across the country.
Anything, yeah.
And I guess across the country, they've already are having that issue. They're having that problem already with scalpers. It's becoming an issue already. Just think when it hits the United States.
Yeah.
So there's that. And there's also the talk of, I think I told you how it's ridiculous how Super Mario Kart World is going to be $80. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the prices are finally showing that, yes, Super Mario Kart World is going to be $80. Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong game that just came out, it's called Bonanza. It's going to come out with Switch 2. That's going to be $70. So I guess what they're going to do is they're going to do like a separation of games depending on how powerful they are. So if the game isn't that powerful, such as Mario Kart World, which is going to be this huge event, it's basically like Forza Horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be open world. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty dope.
It's pretty dope. You're going to hang with your friends and everything online. Yeah. It's a smart move.
Yeah.
But that's why they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's why it's $80. Of course, you have Donkey Kong Bonanza. That one's just a normal one-player game, so it's $60.
Is it me or you know what I noticed?
$70.
Oh, is it really? So depending how so in other words, like if they release another Zelda game, it's gonna be $80.
That's probably gonna be $80 because of depending how big the open world is gonna be in the map. So
interesting.
The reason why I bring this up is this is something that Nintendo has done before, and you've looked that up and you know what I'm talking about the Super Nintendo. So I guess the Super Nintendo, when it came out, the prices, and I'm gonna look at my notes.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't. I should have sent it to you. We could have brought it up on the screen.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the Super Nintendo went up to 70 to 90. That was the Super Nintendo. Video games were 70 to 90 for the Super Nintendo.
At the time.
And because of that, 90s. Yeah, and the reason why is because the size of the cartridge. So depending on the size of your cartridge on the Super Nintendo, on whatever game it's going to be, that's the price it's going to be.
Okay.
Now, Nintendo 64 also did this. They did this, but their thing was $50 to $70.
Uh-huh.
Chrono Trigger, I guess, was $80.
Holy
because
crap.
it was such a immersive big game. So depending how big your cartridge was, you're going to be
the memory, right?
The memory of the game. Yeah. So that's what they did with that. So they put up the price, and then of course later on they created memory cards,
Yeah.
you know, and all that other and so forth.
And the funny thing is, now does that have to deal with the inflation of now, or that's in the 90s? That's how much it was.
That's how much it was.
That's expensive back then.
It is very expensive, and I don't really think it had anything to do with inflation. It just had to do with how much memory was going to be in that game.
Yeah, so real quick before we go any further, for the prices of the consoles themselves, back in the 80s when the original NES, the original Nintendo came out, it was $179. In today's time, with inflation and everything, if it was right now, if the old Nintendo, the NES, got released today,
it just barely was new.
It would have been $523. So $179 at that time is what $523 is today. So if you think about it, the Switch 2 being that it was going to be $450. We don't know now.
Yeah.
Or I think
because of this pause, they're
it could
saying
stay $450,
it could
right?
stay at $450 because of the pause.
Yeah, because it's not going to be coming from China because all the tariffs are now just basically towards China. There's a tariff war between us and China.
Yeah,
which good. I believe that it should be like that. You know, I'm all for American jobs and bringing jobs here and manufacturing jobs. It's what it was in the Roaring '20s.
And also you could say
we need that.
Also you could say too, we don't. We could just Vietnam, Japan. We could just work with them.
Yeah, we just work with them. We don't need China.
You don't really need China. We got Mexico right next door.
And we got exactly. So,
there's all that.
Yeah, check this out, man. Let's see. The most expensive one, I think that was the most expensive. Was the NES back in the 80s, and then the Super Nintendo was a 460. Well, 199 in the 90s, but translates to 460 today. Nintendo 64, 199 in the 90s, and which translates to 400 today, and so on and so forth until we have the Switch 2. Speaking of Switch 2, it was originally supposed to be called the Super Nintendo Switch.
What?
It was supposed to be called the Super Nintendo Switch. Doesn't that sound better?
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Dude, you guys, that's a missed opportunity by Nintendo, man.
It is.
Yeah, big time. Anyway, but
so yeah, the 450 is it worth the price? You could say it is. You could say it is because it's a new console and it's finally gonna go by 1080p. I believe it's finally gonna go by 1080p.
Well, on the screen on the handheld, but on the TV is gonna be 4K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you hook it up to the dock, it's gonna be 4K.
So, but if you look at like the power it's going to have, like the memory power and everything, it's basically almost like. And here's where the negativity kind of kicks in. If you look at how powerful the Switch 2 is going to be when it comes to playing video games, it's basically the PS3.
Yeah.
It's basically as powerful as a PS3.
No, wouldn't you say a PS4?
Between PS3 and PS4,
really?
I would say yeah.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can understand. I get it. Nintendo's kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, and it's not the games are cartridges or cards.
Yeah.
They're not discs,
Yes.
which holds a lot more memory and graphics and all that.
And so there you go. And so, but here's the even bigger issue with that. Supposedly, even that cartridge isn't even gonna have the full game in there.
What?
Yes, because games these days, when you buy a video game, like right now, buy something new, it comes by Wi-Fi wirelessly. You're downloading it.
Oh yeah, the updates and all that. Yeah.
But so the game cartridge itself, again, this is just stuff I've heard, is that these cartridges might not even have the full game in there. You might have to have like a Wi-Fi connection in order to get the full game.
And the funny thing is, now that you mentioned the Wi-Fi connection, the updating and all that, I think the online games are going to be $10 cheaper than the cartridge games.
That's
because you're paying for the physical box and the physical card.
And that's another thing.
Which I don't know. Me and my wife talked about it. I'm like, I think if whenever I get a new video game console, I still have the PS. I still have this. I only have a Switch and a PS3 for God's sakes right now. I don't even. I'm really behind on the times. But where was I going with this? Holy crap. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Okay, Coach from Waterboy.
Holy crap, dude.
You're like the things, the walls are closing.
Holy crap. So I was talking to her. We were discussing about. I was talking about games, and I'm like, I think the next console, whatever it may be, I'm gonna go all online, all digital.
Yeah.
The only reason
digital. That's when digital
download. I won't buy hard copies no more. Number one, because it's gonna take a lot more space. I have boxes. I have video game boxes and crap. It's just too much for me. Yeah. It's cool to collect those. Don't get me wrong, but damn, it's so much sometimes it could be a little too much,
Yeah.
especially now with the little guy running around and everything, and so. We might go all digital. Just heads up.
Yeah, no.
I remember I always fought for the damn.
Yeah.
We need
Need
physical copies.
We need physical copies.
Nowadays, I kind of switch my tone. I'll go all digital.
Well, here's the.
And it's cheaper.
It is. But here's the thing, though, is that I don't know, like, I do feel like
I had a moment.
you're good.
I
But
totally forgot.
I could.
Man.
This is where
That's
I'm not gonna be like pro Nintendo and be like, yeah, you know.
Pause. Hopefully, y'all understood that. That was a scene. That was a movie quote from The Waterboy. Don't think I was actually losing my mind. That was.
I was gonna get my bottle of water and go like that.
All right, go ahead. I just don't want people to think I'm freaking crazy.
So basically, what I'm gonna say though is a lot of Nintendo fans are actually really feeling betrayed by this though.
By what?
By how the prices are gonna be with these games. Like the price, like even like the Switch 2, they feel like some people do believe that the Switch 2 isn't like, yeah, you just kind of like said that no, the Switch 2 should be $450, but some people are like, maybe it should be at least $400. Maybe $450 is taking a leap.
It is.
And
it is.
And so that's why I can understand why some Nintendo fans are kind of angry. Let me tell you another thing that's ridiculous.
I'm just bitching about the games.
That's my
thing. And not so much the system, because
consoles
are expensive as it is, no matter what.
And that's the biggest thing is some people are cool with the console, like us. Like I'm cool.
It is what
but
it
the
is.
Games, $80.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And here's the other issue as well. You know what Nintendo's doing? You know about Astro's Playroom, right?
Yeah.
For the PS5, it automatically came with the PS5, and it showed you all the bells and whistles and all the cool things it could do, right? There's gonna be a Nintendo Tour demo.
Okay.
For the Switch 2, and it's $10.
What?
They're selling $10 for a way to learn how to use the console. So if you want to learn about
all the stupid, do they not know that YouTube exists?
Exactly.
Just watch the damn thing on YouTube.
So that's what they're doing right now. They're like, if you want to use all these awesome do all these awesome tricks, well then you have to buy this demo to learn all that stuff.
I'll wait till
and
somebody.
It's $10.
No, that's retarded.
That is ridiculous. Here's another thing that's also ridiculous. They're also trying to create their own like Discord. They're even selling the camera, and I believe the camera is like $50.
Yeah.
And it goes off 480p.
Yeah,
480p.
I didn't know.
That is another ridiculous thing. Okay, so there's.
You want to know why they do that? They're gonna release the cheap crap first, and then that way they could be like, guess what? We got a 720p recording device. It's another $50. Oh, guess what? Another year later, we got a 1080. If you want to record a 1080,
when the Switch 3 comes out.
No, I'm talking about the Switch 2. They're gonna, trust me, guarantee it, man. That's how these businesses work, bro. That's how it goes, man.
And then here's the thing: once they release that 1080p with the Switch 2, they're gonna release the Switch 3 like a year after.
Yeah, man, give it time.
And then they're gonna release a different camera.
Mark my words, is what they're gonna do.
So, and see, that's what I'm kind of doing. Is that Nintendo's kind of acting a little too greedy when it comes to that area. And so that's why I'm kind of against. That's where I'm literally against. The console, $450, I'm cool with that. But the games themselves and doing that with the demo, also I think you have to pay another, I forget how much it is, but I guess certain buttons that you have to use on the Switch, you have to pay for that too.
What?
Yes, dude. It's so, like, supposedly there's certain buttons that are locked unless you join like their thing. It's ridiculous, and it's really weird what they're doing right now. And so there is one thing I feel like they're doing right. And it's like, again, you could get mad about it, but what I guess what they're doing is to stop scalpers, they're kind of doing this thing on Nintendo that if you have verification that you are a Nintendo user, you could pre-order one.
But you were just complaining about scalpers. Now you're backtracking.
No. This is to fight off scalpers.
But you were just complaining about scalpers. Like,
yeah,
you made it sound like there's going to be scalpers.
There is scalpers.
There isn't going to be scalpers.
No, there is still going to be scalpers because only a few people are going to be able to do this. Okay. Not everyone is going to be able to do this kind of thing.
Some people, you're basically saying some people get away with it.
Yeah, some people get away with it. Some, yeah. So that's what's going on. So Nintendo's.
I thought you were contradicting what you were saying.
No, I'm not contradicting. No. So basically, you really have to show that you are a Nintendo user. Like, you have to go through all these hoops and ladders just to show that you're a Nintendo user. And by doing that, you could pre-order one through the Nintendo.
Gotcha.
But you have to do all these weird verifications. It's actually really weird.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's also like it's gonna be tough for some people who do have a Nintendo, who are Nintendo users trying to get it.
Oh, like us.
Like us. Oh. Like, for all we know, we probably won't be able to get it. But yeah, no, it's everything else is just I don't know, like the whole thing that's going on with Nintendo. Just I'm still not for it. You know, and in a sense, I'm still not for it when it comes to the games.
Yeah,
But we'll see what they do. We'll see what comes. People are still gonna buy it.
of course
People
they
are
are.
still gonna
Of
buy
course
it. They're
they
still
are.
gonna buy it.
It's the new and improved system. I mean, I kind of
Exactly.
want one too.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, no.
you know, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm against how much the games are, but damn, dude, if I want to play that new Super Mario World or Super Mario Kart World,
And me personally,
I gotta pay the piper.
I want to play Metroid Prime 4, but I believe that's going to be on the regular Switch. They're going to make it for both.
Oh.
But I don't know for sure. And again, another thing too, I don't know for sure. It's real confusing because a lot of people don't know if it is or not. The GameCube, I don't know if you know, they're going to have the GameCube if you have the Nintendo Direct, you know, when you have, or I think it's called the Nintendo Direct. What is it? Is that what it's called? Yeah. If you have the Nintendo Direct and you know, when you get the NES, all that stuff, I guess the GameCube is only going to be with the Switch too.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
But the Switch can't. But if you have a Switch, you can't get the GameCube.
Well, too bad, so sad.
I
It is
don't
what
know.
it is,
I
dog.
find it ridiculous.
Hey, if you're
I'm
gonna pay
against
the
that.
piper, if you're gonna pay a high price, you might as well get
I'm
the
against
extras
that.
that nobody. You're gonna get extras that nobody else paid for. Think
Yeah,
about
true.
it.
Yeah,
Think
but
about
you're
it.
still gonna have to pay for the Nintendo Direct, though. I mean,
Well, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, might as well give it to both consoles. You know what I'm saying? But that's my
Is it
thing.
Nintendo? What is that stupid thing called? Anyway, keep going. I'll look it up.
But yeah, no, like that's and I talked to a couple of friends, and I'm like, so
I think
is
it's just called Nintendo Online, dog.
Nintendo Online?
Yeah,
there you go.
Nintendo Switch Online.
The
Yeah.
Direct is just when they talk about the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Yeah, Nintendo Switch Online.
Nintendo Switch Online. Thank you. But that's the thing is that like I've talked to like 2 of my friends already, and they've told me both that is the GameCube going to be only for the Switch 2, or is it also going to be for the Switch? So nobody really knows if it is or not. It's really weird. So yeah, that's
Yeah, so there's that article I sent you earlier today that we were just talking about. That,
Yeah.
they're going to be shipping the units out of Vietnam.
yeah. See, so there you go.
So the price could still stay $450.
Yeah,
Not bad. I mean, we had worse news last week.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
At least
You know what I'm
the
saying?
news got fluctuated.
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay, so were you done? Or no?
Yeah, I'm done
Okay.
talking about Nintendo. Like,
So
we'll see what happens.
So for me last week, I forgot to mention, man, because we got so heavy into Dayton, you know, the Christian rapper and everything, that I forgot to mention that the Rihanna story. So the conspiracy with the whole, you know, well, there's two things. Okay, there's 2 things that have to do with Rihanna. The first one I want to get into is when we were talking about the astral projections.
Yes,
And we were
yes.
talking about St. Padre Pio, how he could be at 2 places at once or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's this. I think he's a preacher. I don't know if he's a priest. I read different stories. You guys could Google and look it up. I should have brought the article up, and I didn't. I failed again. But fast forward. I'll just get to the point that he died for. You know how people die sometimes and they come back to life, or they get revived.
Yeah.
You know, they die for like a minute or so, right, and then they bring him back to
Yeah,
life.
his heart. You were dead for about 5 minutes.
Right. Happens during surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to him. And in that time, he literally went to hell. He went to hell. And what he said was that as he was in there, that all he heard was a bunch of screaming, crying. It sounded like people were suffering. And he said that he saw the walls were just red, like blood. Everything was red, ugly, dark red, bloody. And he was saying in the background, in the music that was playing was Rihanna, Umbrella. You know, you could be my umbrella, Ella, Ella, eh, eh. That song was playing. And then I forgot what other song he said was playing. Like I said, you guys look it up, Google it and look up the article. Type in preacher or priest went to hell, died and went to hell. Type that in on Google, you'll see it. Matter of fact, as I'm talking, see if you can bring it up. So I just thought that was pretty interesting that it dealt with Rihanna and they were in hell. They were playing the Umbrella song. What's the significance with that? I might tell you in a bit.
Okay.
These 2 things might be tied into each other. Type in preacher. Type in preacher. So yeah, and then I forgot what other song. Like he'll look it up right now. What other song it was, but you know, and then radio Jay-Z's on it. He's featured on it. Yeah, there you go. Just type that. Yeah. Just type that. Yeah. Oh, it's a pastor then. Yeah. So it's a Christian pastor. See if you can find an article. Go down. I saw the real hell. Michigan priest says unforgiveness sent. Yeah. Because I guess he. So it is a priest. Priest Gerald Johnson is his name. Let's see here. I think you can bring up the. Let's see. Yeah, he said he saw the real hell. I wish I was there and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't care what he did to me. No one deserves that. So I guess so he had a heart attack. Go down.
And this is him?
That's him. Yeah, that's him right there, guys. 2016 this happened. He said he thought he was going upward and thought I had so much to do good in this lifetime, trying to help so many people and made so many decisions, and they were godly decisions. But as opposed to me going up, I went down. Yeah, he says walking on. Oh, he described people walking on all fours like dogs and getting burned from head to toe. So they were on fire. They were burning alive.
Okay.
His eyes were bulging, and worse than that, he was wearing chains on his neck. He's talking about the people crawling like dogs. It was like a hellhound. There was a demon holding the chains. Like telepathic communication, I knew that the demon was sent in this man's life to ride him for the rest from his childhood to his death. Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, he said, it is the same music we hear on earth, but opposed to entertainers singing it, the music demons were singing it. So the demons in hell were singing that Rihanna song. Let's see what. Oh, okay, yeah, songs like Umbrella and Bobby McFerrin's "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Whoa, why that song?
Oh.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
be happy.
Ooh.
Whoa. Holy crap, man! That makes you think, and it just hit me right now. The song "Don't Worry, Be Happy," right? When it comes to being happy, didn't you tell me a buddy of yours, a friend of yours that you used to work with at the theater? You can bring us back up. Didn't you tell me that he went to? Didn't he go infiltrate or something, a Satanist temple?
So what it was is that it was Jesse's friend.
You don't have to name him.
Yeah, but yeah, no, we were both friends with him.
I don't remember him. Anyways, just tell the damn story, man.
So
you gotta go down memory road.
So what happens is that he had a friend.
Okay.
That was doing different religious scholaring. So he went to different temples. He would go to different churches. Different religions, and he would on his, of course, his list was a satanic
the
list.
Church of Satan.
So he went to one of their temples, and what they taught in their teaching is that, their teachings are, you could do whatever you want, as long as you're happy. So and as long as you don't hurt the other person. So you can steal from a person. You're not hurting them, aren't you? You're stealing from them. You're not causing the pain.
Because it makes you happy.
Because it makes you happy. So if you do something that makes you happy without hurting the other person, you could do it.
And that's what's kind of scary when people are like, well, I mean, as long as he's happy or as long as she's happy, you know. And I must confess, you know, I was young. I wasn't really into the faith like I was now, you know, and I was living with women and, you know, out of wedlock, you know, and doing stuff, and not to get into my stories, but so I was sinning big time. And I've confessed all this already, and I just hope to God the Lord forgives me. I think I'm going to purgatory. God knows. I mean, I'd rather go there than in freaking hell.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. So I hope, Lord Jesus, hear my prayer, Lord, and please forgive me for all the wrong I've done, because I've done some wrong in my life.
And, you know, no one's perfect, of course.
Yeah, we've said this every show.
Yeah.
We don't have to go down that discussion again.
Yeah, but
anywho, back to that. So, which is very interesting. So that song was playing, "Don't Worry, Be Happy." The demons were singing that, and the church is saying that's all they want you to do is be happy.
Be happy. Whatever, do whatever it does to make you happy.
Have sex, do out of wedlock, do certain kind of marriages, all that, abortions. As long as you're happy, go do it. That's what life's about, and that's not what life's about. Yeah, you want to be happy, but there's going to become suffering. You got to overcome that suffering, and the true happiness is again in heaven.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. That's the end game.
Everlasting joy.
Everlasting joy. That's where we all want to go. That's the goal. So I just put those two together. The happy and your buddy's story. So I find that pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I find that as a parallel.
Yeah.
Another parallel with Rihanna is, now I heard this on those two dudes, Jumpers Jump.
Okay.
Jumpers Jump. Shout out to Jumpers Jump. They got good content as well too. And I don't know if people. We're not trying to be them. They're more goofy. They're more modern.
Yeah.
They use certain words that we're not going to use because we sound stupid as hell if we use them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And I find
lingo.
Those the nowadays TikTok young people lingo. I think it sounds stupid as hell.
I don't even think they use the word lingo anymore. I don't know what they call it now, but
yeah. But anyway, so they use those. They use that jargon. They use those terms. So it's kind of annoying. You got to get past their stupid. And their humor, they're not that funny. To me, they're not funny. I'm not talking bad about them.
I'm pretty sure.
But they got good content.
Yeah.
Good conspiracies and good thinking and good what ifs and very entertaining group of guys there, man. Jumpers Jump. But they were mentioning, I heard it on there, excuse me, that the song Umbrella, right? Again with Umbrella, that same song. Wait, all good?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh shoot,
No,
you can't hear us, right? You're not gonna hear us on
no,
the mic.
no, no.
Sure?
You could hear us.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay, it's not gonna interfere with our volume.
It's not gonna
Okay.
interfere with our volume.
So they were mentioning how every song that has to deal. Okay, how am I gonna phrase this? Start from square one. Okay, in the Umbrella song,
Yeah.
it's raining in the music video. Jay-Z, who's featured on the song, mentions the Rain Man is back. Rihanna, Miss Sunshine. No, Little Miss Sunshine. Rihanna, where you at?
Mm-hmm.
But when he says, he goes, "Hey, Jay, the Rain Man is back." Now, supposedly, the Rain Man is a demon or the devil himself. If you look throughout history of music, there's always a talk about water, rain, anything that has to deal with water, ice. You know, my chain's icy. You know, I got all this ice on me. You know, that's water. So it has to deal with, as long as you mention water or rain or anything that has to deal with water, or mention the Rain Man, say the Rain Man. You're kind of giving praise to the Rain Man, to that demon. And I forgot the name of that demon. They mentioned on Jumpers Jump, and I don't know what episode it is, but it's pretty interesting that Rihanna's kind of intertwined with that priest story, and then that other thing, you know. I don't know, it's weird, man. Yeah, so I mean, really think about it, man. You know, we were talking about the music industry last weekend, and that's where I was getting at was that Rihanna song and Jay-Z saying the Rain Man is back. That is kind of creepy.
That is kind of creepy.
It's kind of creepy. So, but anyways, let's get into the newer topics of the week that we want to get into. Okay. Oh damn, I can't get in there. Oh well, I do want to give an update though right now, and I know Brandon, you're gonna hate me for this, dog, but it's the end of the second inning. We're 5-1 against the Yankees, so that's pretty bad. That's pretty good. And the reason why I said that's pretty bad is because I yelled into the mic again, dude.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
Sorry out there, y'all, for blasting your ears. But Brandon, go Giants. Okay, that's enough of that. Don't hate me, dog. Don't hate me. Okay.
He's gonna hate you, bro. He's gonna hate you.
So what's the biggest controversy as far as theaters, movies? What's the biggest controversy in movies right now?
So for what I can tell, I believe it's that chicken thing from Minecraft. Is the biggest. Is it?
Chicken Jockey.
Chicken Jockey. Yeah.
And heads
Chicken
up,
Jockey.
I've never played Minecraft. Never was into it. It's been around since 2009. I was 19 when it came out. It wasn't even on my radar, and it's never will be.
I think Chicken
I don't
Jockey.
care for Minecraft.
From what I heard, I guess
not hating on it, it's just not my thing.
From what I heard, Chicken Jockey isn't a thing from a game. It's more just a meme. It was created.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's based
so it's
off
not
of
in the game.
It's not in the
You
game.
sure it's not in the game? Maybe it's mods, right?
Something about mods. I don't know. I just heard that.
Like
it's
I said, we
I don't
don't
know
really
more
know.
about Minecraft, but I do know that it is a meme. So I guess because I've asked my friends about that. What the heck was the Chicken Jockey all about? And one of them did answer me, and he said, well, his brother told him that, oh no, like Chicken Jockey's a meme. And so basically,
so that's why the kids got excited, right?
That's why,
in the
yeah.
theater.
Yes. Now,
and
of
they were
course,
causing all kinds of mayhem and havoc. And you used to work at a theater, dude. What would you do?
So, I agree with the managers. I agree with the ushers that are going into those theaters and yelling at these people
and kicking them out,
and
calling
kicking
the
them out,
cops.
calling the cops. I agree with that because I worked at a theater like that.
And you worked with a bunch of dumbasses.
Exactly.
Not worked with the people there. A lot of the times that watched the movies were dumbasses. I'm sorry, y'all. A lot of his old friends used to work. A lot of his friends worked there. I didn't mean to call
those
y'all
guys
that.
are awesome.
I'm sorry.
Those guys
I
are
meant
awesome.
the customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they understand you're talking about the customers because they had to work with those people too. So here's the thing. There's a thing that we always said. Now, of course, there's a term that the customer is always right. And our lingo was the customer doesn't know what they want. That's what I deal with every day too. That is the full blown truth. I don't care what anyone says. The customer doesn't know what they want. So what happened was that when things like that, when issues like that would come up, we got the blunt of it. They yelled at us, hey, we need you to get these people out of the theater or they have to get refunds. That's a lot of money, dude. And so and for us to clean up that popcorn that they went like this and threw it all over the place. I mean, I'm just looking at, if I worked at a theater right now, I would go ballistic and be like, F this movie.
So when it comes to the Chicken Jockey scene, and I've seen the videos where they get all excited and do stupid crap.
Yeah.
Is it a thing? Is it a movement to do it, or do they actually, are they getting actually excited, or was it one video they got excited, it caught on, and other people wanted to emulate it?
It's a fad.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
There you
fad.
go. So
It's just a fad. It's just a fad. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So I'm guessing the video came out, people probably did get excited and went nuts, but then after that it escalated. Right?
It escalated higher and higher and higher. If anything, it's basically they're basically trying to what can I say? When they try to do something that another movie did, like Minions,
Yeah.
how they would wait,
and they'd be like this.
Yes, yes.
Like this, walking in suits. Yeah.
But that's more innocent.
Yeah,
because you're not
they're just
disrupting the
chilling.
movie.
Yeah,
they're chilling and
movie.
you're dressing up as a suit, watching a film,
Yeah.
watching a movie.
Big whoop.
So, I mean, and that's pretty fun to do that.
Yeah,
I think I would like to. If I was if I was that age, I would do that too.
Yeah,
if I was like, if I was with my friends and we all decided, hey, let's wear suits and do this, I would be
Go to
down.
the theater,
I'd be down to
event.
do that. Yeah, it's an event and treat it like it's this amazing thing. I would do that. But this whole chicken jockey was just over the top.
Yeah.
It you know, when you say that you've gone too far, I feel like that's an area that's gone too far because number one, you're ruining the movie for other families who are taking their kids to watch it. And of course, number two, the first thing is I feel bad for the families. Because think about it, you're a dad. You basically are finding time with your kids from a harsh week of work.
And you got to deal with all these jackasses jumping around, throwing popcorn.
Yes,
in your face.
and all you're trying to do is and your kid too is trying to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And it's worse on the families. I feel bad for the families that these chicken jockey guys ruin the movie for these families. That's what I really feel bad for. And then of course, second is the workers, the managers. Like that one video when I saw the manager walking in and saying, F all you guys, get the F out. Like he just cuts. I kind of like.
Something tells me that wasn't the first showing that they did that.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Had enough.
Yeah, he had enough, and so I agree with that. I really do. But yeah, no. So like the whole chicken jockey thing that's going on with Minecraft, it's ridiculous, and I think it shouldn't have even happened. That's my thing about it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to the next subject, which is more Israel and Israelish Jewish videos. Let's bring those up real quick, man.
All right.
Or as we call them, the usual suspects. Let's bring the first one here. Go down. That one right there. That one's very interesting. Remember, pause. Yep. Volume's up. Go for it.
Israel in the Bible is not the same Israel as today. And I know what you're thinking, and you're already jumping into conclusions, but hear me out. People are over here fighting and debating over a misunderstanding of what Israel actually means. They think that the modern Israel is the same as the Israel God promised in the Bible. It's not. In the Bible, Israel means two things. First, Israel was a person. In Genesis 32, Jacob wrestled with God, literally fought him all night long. And after that, God changed his name to Israel, which means he struggles with God. Second, Israel became a nation. Jacob's 12 sons became the 12 tribes of Israel, God's chosen people. But hear this out, they were not chosen because of their land. They were chosen because of God's promise. The nation of Israel existed under kings like David and Solomon. But guess what? They lost their land. They were exiled because they turned away from God. Fast forward today, Israel was founded in 1948 as a political state. But that's not the same as biblical Israel. It's not ruled by biblical law, not everyone there is a descendant of the 12 tribes, and the land does not define God's people. Faith does. So when people think that defending modern day Israel is the same as defending God's chosen people, no, you're missing the whole point of scripture. God's Israel was never about land, but about a relationship with him. The Israel in the Bible is not the same Israel as today. And I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure we don't have to really get into that. The guy said it all.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you feel about that? It's kind of eye-opening, right?
Yeah, no, it is. Like,
Yeah, because me and my wife, you can bring us back up.
We are.
Bring us back up.
We are.
Oh, no, but show us on the screen. So, yeah. And so, where was that? Oh, we talked about it because I was like, you know what? You know what's interesting is that because even Jesus, and I remember, I don't know what verse or chapter, what I got to really start reading more. But even Jesus says, he has two things. He says if they're not with us, they're against us.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, he's mentioned that those people, he talks to the Jews, that what he says something to the fact, and I shouldn't misquote this because it's not good that I misquote this, but it's something to the fact, and I think you know what I'm talking about. He calls them Satan's people.
Okay.
Or they're the people of Satan or something.
Okay.
Because Jesus is God on earth, right? You know, everybody knows the whole deal, and we were supposed to be, the Jews were supposed to become Christians and follow Jesus.
Yes.
Because he is God, and they don't. So it made me think. I'm like, everybody, and we grew up knowing, and our parents taught us that those are God's people. Well, what about us? Are we not God's people? You know, that's the discussion me and Anna. We were like, whoa. And my wife was, Anna was like, wow, I didn't really think about that. I'm like, yeah, really think about it. And she's even taking a Bible class right now, Bible study class. Mm-hmm. And even that guy, the guy who's running the Bible study class, mentioned that too. You know, like, in a way, we're all God's people. We're God's people. They're not just God's people. They were in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, they need to follow Jesus Christ, we're God's people, So, and I'm not trying to call the Jew religion Satanist people or Satanist worshipers, but at the same time, it makes you think, what God are they worshiping now? Because Jesus said it himself, you guys are not worshiping God. Yeah. Like I said, man, I wish I should have done more research. Maybe next episode in 2 weeks, I'll bring it up. I'll bring the Bible and everything, Just at a straight bar for bar from scripture, you know what I'm saying? I'll speak the word, but I just find that video interesting because think about it. I mean, we're God's people. Yeah. What kind of people are they? Who are they worshiping? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Usual suspects. All right, next video.
All right.
All right, now listen to this. Now, Charlie Kirk, you guys, for who don't know, he goes around. He's the one that started the whole. No, he didn't start that, right? The tell me, what's that famous thing that
was Steven Crowder.
That was Steven Crowder. Okay.
Yeah, that's Steven Crowder who does that.
Okay, so Charlie Kirk. Anyway, he goes to a lot of universities, and he's conservative, very conservative, very pro-Christian, and he goes around colleges and does the
discussions.
The discussions. Yeah, but there's a term for them that he calls them. I don't watch his videos. I only see him on social media. His videos. Well, here's one of them right here. You can play it now. Play the volume.
Refers to Jesus being a fornicator. Getting 56 refers to Jesus burning in hell. And Shabbat 104b says that Mary was a Baba Messiah 24a reads that if a Jew finds an object that a Gentile goy has lost, it does not have to return it. Yebamath 98a says all children of goyim are animals. Tuspoth Jebamath 84b says if you eat with a goy, it is the same as eating with a dog. Baba Messiah 114b says Gentiles, goys, are not humans, they are beasts.
All of which are legitimate verses. Judaism. But here's my opinion. We'll just disagree. I believe that Paul said in the New Testament, we must bless the Jews. We must bless the Jews. I believe that our own Lord and Savior, when we go up and we see the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings, we're going to see a rabbinic rabbi by the name of Jesus Christ sitting on the throne. He was a Torah observant, Shabbos observant Jew. Here's the thing. We just have difference of opinion. I think we have an obligation to the Jews as Christians. You might disagree. We can disagree. Thank you for your time. I got to get to the next question.
So the interesting thing about that, look how he kind of just shut him up. So, okay, we got to go to the next question. His explanation didn't make sense. Yeah. And Charlie Kirk, I don't know, man. Is he like an Israeli puppet? Is he scared of the Israelians, the Mossad, the Zionists? I don't know. I was kind of, and if you ever read the comments when you have time, a lot of people are disappointed in Charlie Kirk for kind of shutting that kid up. The kid had a point. What he's reading is from the Torah. Or is it the Torah, or what is it called, man? There's a book outside of the Bible that they follow. I believe it's the Torah. Let me see. I
believe it is.
I don't want to be wrong here.
Because they follow the Torah, and I believe Muslims follow the Quran.
The Quran, yeah. Okay, the Torah, right?
They do follow the Torah.
So there's some sick stuff in the Torah, man. If you ever get down to it and see some of the things that's written in there, it's some pretty nasty stuff.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to go down the list because I don't even want to speak the crap that's on there. But how about one of the biggest one is to literally berate and spit on Christians.
Okay.
How was that godly?
Yeah.
And there's videos out there too where Christians are walking throughout Israel, and they're literally Jewish people with the little things and all that spitting
the
at
Orthodox.
Them. The Orthodox Jews.
Yeah.
They're spitting at them and telling them stuff and yelling at them, berating the Christians. whether they're male or female, they're just being real ugly towards them.
Yeah.
And then there's another video, remember, where they were interviewing these Jewish
Oh,
kids?
I saw that video. Yeah.
Remember that?
Show me.
And he was like, "We got to kill them. If I see a Christian, I'll kill him."
Yeah.
Yo, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's hard, man, because I keep saying Jewish, but those are the Zionist Jews.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure there's some good Jews out there, and
Of
I
course.
can't stress this enough.
Of course there
So I
is.
shouldn't categorize, and I apologize. I apologize to all the Jewish people in the Jewish community out there who are the good people, and realize that, you know, I just wish you all became Christians. One day I hope. And I forgot to tell you, man, there is a group of Jews who read the New Testament.
Yeah.
I knew a couple people. I used to work with them, and they believe in Jesus and they praise Jesus and they go to church, but they're Jewish. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there too. They don't eat pork.
Of course. Yeah.
So forgive me for categorizing everybody in one bunch, but I'm talking about the Zionist pigs and the Mossad.
Yeah. And see that, and that's the thing too, is that like, we're not saying that, like you said, not all of them bad. Same thing with Christians and Catholics. They're not all good Christians and Catholics.
We
There's
can't
bad
stress that enough,
Christians
yeah.
Catholics out there too. So I want to make that clear. That this is not.
That we're not just saying the Jews are the devil.
Yes, we're not bashing on religion
No.
or anybody else's religion. We're just bashing on the people that are radicalized.
There you go.
And do awful things to another human being just because they are a different religion.
Right.
That is the issue. That is the problem.
That's the issue. That's the problem. Yeah. And, you know, they're behind of a lot of things in the United States, you know, and some might say that they run the United States.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
And you could kind of see it, man, because think about it. 9/11 happened. We went to go fight. Did Israel help us? I don't think they did. We kind of fought the war for them.
Yeah, we did. And then of course we tried to get other countries part of it, and all the other countries said,
Right.
no dice.
Yeah, so it's like
no dice.
we're kind of doing their dirty work. We could get into that another topic. I mean, I really want to go down a rabbit hole when it comes to Israel, the nation of Israel, and yeah, that'll be it for another time. As of right now, let's go to this is an interesting subject that came out this week: the dire wolves.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing about the whole dire wolves. They were extinct, completely extinct, and what they did was basically,
You keep talking.
they basically were able to bring them back. What they did was they kind of did like a splice thing.
The DNA, right?
With DNA. What they did was they found some direwolf DNA within the La Brea tar pits. So they got that DNA, strain, they got the
and they got the gray wolf, right?
They got the gray wolf and they ejected blood into the gray wolf. Now, by doing that, that's not really a dire wolf.
You want to bring that up?
Yeah, that is not that right there. That's the puppy right there.
Uh-huh.
Those are the pups. And the real thing is, you could call that a dire wolf all you want. You could call that a dire wolf all you want. That's not really a dire wolf, because it wasn't. How can I say? Yes, it was biologically engineered,
right,
and it wasn't reproduced in a natural and environmental way. You know, science messed with it. Now, here's another issue. There's no point of having dire wolves because the ecosystem that they live by doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
There is no point of having dire wolves around. In fact, we're barely getting our regular wolves back on track. I'm pretty sure you know about that story, right? Okay, so if you don't know about the wolves, what happened was there was a time about, I want to say the 1850s, around the 1800s.
I don't know, dude. I don't know the time.
There was
I don't know the history.
there was a time where basically there was a lot of wolves. So what we did, we hunted them, we killed them, we took them out. We almost wiped them to extinction. And you know what we noticed? That the grass started going empty. That a lot more herbivores were starting to eat. The deer was increasing. Everything was increasing. So like, oh my God, the wolves are important.
Wolves,
we need the wolves for the ecosystem,
Wow.
for everything to be nurtrified.
Wow,
So
okay.
they tried their best to bring back wolves. Nowadays, the wolves are coming back bit by bit by bit. Again, I don't know the year. Look up the year, but it did happen. We caused that. So we are trying to bring the wolves back. Now we're trying to bring dire wolves back. Makes no sense.
Doesn't make no
Makes
sense.
no sense
And
whatsoever.
they're huge, right? They're like they're gonna
They're
be the biggest.
they're
wolf.
gonna be big wolves. They're gonna be huge.
And wolves, dude. Wild wolves are already huge as it is.
Yeah,
They're scary,
gray
dude.
wolves. Gray
and
wolves
are
now,
huge.
The reason why they chose the gray wolves
'Cause
is
it's
because
huge.
they're so huge.
Right.
So they're like, oh, we're gonna choose. But there's also sayings that it's it's like, I guess dire wolves are more close to jackals, I guess. Like their
Really?
DNA, I guess. Like I don't know, like
Interesting.
certain other kind of wolves, other kind of like dog breeds, they are that kind of breed, supposedly. Don't quote me on that, but that's something that I kind of read.
And dire wolves kind of is a famous animal because of
Game of Thrones. Yeah. And so, and you know, dire wolves were big wolves. They were huge. And yeah, it's like in Jurassic Park, you know, nature decided to take them out, you know? Like now of course mankind probably had a part of it too.
Yeah.
But even so, what happened was, and if you could say this too, the gray wolves are probably a big part of the dire wolf extinction because yes, dire wolves are maybe tinier, but that didn't make them quicker. So they're gonna get the food before the dire wolf gets it, right?
So they ate him out of a house.
They ate him out of the house at home, basically. And also, you got to think about this too. Look how big that dog is. Look how big that wolf is.
Yeah.
A dire wolf is gonna need a lot of nutrients. So even when like the bigger animals too, maybe this thing is the bigger animals. Let it be woolly mammoths. Let it be the sloths. Let it be those kind of animals. Dire wolves probably ate them. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to catch that gazelle. I'm not going to be able to catch that deer. But here's this slow animal. Let's take this one instead. And then they wipe those animals out, and then there's nothing to eat.
The ecosystem.
The ecosystem.
It's an imbalance.
It's an imbalance. And so that's why these dire wolves, there's really no point of having these. Another big fear is, what else are we going to genetically do
Well,
now?
that's what I'm going to get at. So for years, man, this has been going on since we were children. They've been trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
When we were kids, we thought it was the coolest thing ever. But now that we're older, we're like, might not want to do that, man.
Yeah.
So check it out, man. So this week, same thing, man. They injected mice. You know, we always use mice as
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Literally, it's a funny term. Yeah. As you know, lab mice, right, to test product.
Yeah.
Well, we created. Bring that up. Woolly mice. Look at those beautiful little creatures.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's funny, man. They look like they're going Super Saiyan or something. It's like they went Super Saiyan. It's hilarious. Cute.
That's dope.
So they're injecting the woolly mammoth's DNA that they found. You know, they went in the ice. They took the DNA from the mammoth hair or whatever. I can't get too technical. So they injected it in mice as we usually do as a human race, and they became woolly mice. So we now have a race of woolly mice on Earth. And then from there, they're going to try to recreate the woolly mammoth. So that's proof that they could do it. And I'm hearing that they're going to do dodo birds and all this other stupid like, why? Why, man? Why? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, okay, so...
and then the other problem is we're playing God, man.
Yeah.
Us as a human race shouldn't be doing that.
So the whole...
That's a big no-no.
The whole thing is, I think, it's like, okay, so it's kind of like with dodo birds, that is more like something that, again, we kind of caused. So I can understand why people are going to want to do that. But woolly mammoths, again... They had their shot.
How about territorial animals shouldn't come back?
Yeah.
Giant territorial animals should not
There
come
you go.
back.
So again, like...
Because then they're going to kill us.
Well, it's kind of like
and other animals around them.
It's like in Jurassic Park.
I love it. Bring it on.
And when he's all like, condors. If I brought condors back, you will not have any issue with this. Well, again, like, you got to understand, this wasn't in like Dr. Hammond. Dr. Hammond is like, look... This isn't, you know, these weren't animals destroyed by man-made cultivation. You know, we didn't wipe dinosaurs off the planet. The environment, nature wiped dinosaurs off the asteroids, wiped dinosaurs off the planet. So we shouldn't mess with dinosaurs. So same thing. Dire wolves, nature decided to select them to be gone, so they're gone. Dodo birds, however, nature didn't really do that. That was a man-made thing in which we hunted them down. Animals would hunt them, like dogs, like normal hounds would hunt them down and eat them. Like, and instead of really like, kind of like treating them like chickens, and like nurturing them and probably raising them, I think that would have been pretty multiplying them. That would have been really dope. Farming them, which they should have done.
Which they probably will do now.
But they will do now. Yeah, exactly. But what's the thing that's going to be the closest to the dodo bird?
A chicken. No,
I don't know. Ostrich? I don't know. Like, I think it's ostriches. That's the problem. Here's the issue. Here's the issue. No matter, even if it's dodo birds, no matter what animal, it's not going to be what it's supposed to look like.
Right, it's not going to be a purebred freaking dodo bird, a purebred mammoth, because they're going to splice elephant gene.
Yeah.
To create the mammoth.
So that's not even. We shouldn't even call that woolly mammoth. You got to call that something different. Same thing with
a woolly elephant.
Same thing with the dire wolf. That's not a dire wolf.
It's a dire gray wolf.
Exactly. Or you're going to have to call it another name. It is not a dire wolf. It is not pure-blooded dire wolf. It has a bunch of other genes within it. So that's an issue with that. It's a yeah, exactly. And I really feel like it's territory we shouldn't mess with.
Oh no,
with that.
Give me a quote from Jeff Goldblum's character, man. Give me a good one. Talk like him too. You gotta fiddle your fingers.
Like
Chaos.
like
I can't remember the word, so you gotta say it.
Well, I mean, I'll be honestly, my mind's kind of going blank right now. But okay, I gotta tell you this though. They set on the hands of geniuses, all right, and then before they even knew what they had, they packaged it, they panned it, packaged it, and sent it out, and then they're selling it. They're selling it. They're selling it. And then here's one thing that I really love what he says. They talk about invention, reimagination, and new ideas, and he calls it a rape of the natural world. I love when he says that because that's what it is. We are destroying the natural balance of things.
Man, Jeff Goldblum's character is the best character on that whole Jurassic Park.
Dr. Malcolm.
Dr. Malcolm.
I call him Dr.
Dr.
Hammond.
Badass.
Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah. Remember, Grandpa? That one time we were.
He did not know who Dr. Malcolm was.
He was like, "Oh, that's a crook, mijo. That's a crook."
He saw a guy. He saw a guy with a
dressed in black
with sunglasses. He thought he was a crook.
And he's against the whole theory of Jurassic Park, so that's why Grandpa saw him
as the crook of the movie. And it's like, no.
The bad guy.
In fact, he was supposed.
He was the hero if you think about it, right?
Well, it's really cool because he was supposed to be there to take the lawyer side. To look like, okay, we can do something with this. Let's make money off of this. But instead, he looked at it and was like, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. So I wish I could remember that line where he's like talking about chaos, right? Something creates man. Man creates dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs eats man.
Dinosaur eats man. And, well, there you have it.
Well, another thing, too, is that, like, when he talks about the dinosaurs, about how they're going to reproduce, basically.
Yeah.
Nature finds a way.
There you go. That's what I was trying to look. Yeah, there you go. So many awesome lines from Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah, no, he's an awesome character.
Yeah.
Fan favorite. In fact,
remember me, he's a crook.
But here's the cool thing about if you read the actual Jurassic Park book, it heavily implied that he dies.
That sucks.
But he was such a fan favorite from the books. He was such a fan favorite from the movies that Steven Spielberg went to the writer and said, "Look, I want to do a movie with Dr. Malcolm." And so Dr. Malcolm made
Jurassic
Park 2, in which he did survive. But in the book, he has a limp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the book he has a limp, but it's like he actually survived his wounds.
That's cool.
Because he was such a fan favorite.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, and nobody else better to play him than
Jeff Goldblum.
Man.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Last but not least, since we were talking about us, us as a human race playing God. Oh, you know what? Bring that up right there. Let's bring up this video right here. Pause it. Bring up the volume. Or we don't have to show this. So this guy from Judicial Watch, you can bring it up. I'll just talk about it. Pause it. This guy from Judicial Watch. I don't know his name. I don't follow him on Instagram or nothing. You don't have to bring him. You don't have to bring it up. I just said.
Okay.
Did you have it off or what's going on here?
No, I just showed a picture of the guy so you can understand who he is.
He looks like a drug addict from there. Thanks a lot. There you go. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, you could stop screen recording.
Okay.
Oh, you weren't screen recording. I thought you were.
I wasn't.
Oh, my bad, guys. Remember, guys, we do this somewhat live. We try not to edit as much as we can. We had a lot of technical difficulties a few minutes ago on a couple parts, so there's gonna be a few edits. But bring that up, dude. I was gonna read it.
Oh, you're gonna read what he says.
Yeah. Judicial Watch's Tom Fitton. Oh, there's his name. Tom Fitton is suing AG Pam Bondi for failing to release the Epstein files. He's saying, in quote, "It's well past time for the American people to get the full truth about this big scandal." I can't agree more with him. We were promised these damn files, and they were teasing us and teasing us and teasing us and teasing us that we were going to get these files, and we still haven't got the damn full files. We got the released documents, I get that, but they're not the full documents. Even what's-her-name said herself, and we talked about it, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before on one of our shows. What's her name? Luna. Anna Paulina Luna. She was even mentioning, and I don't even know if we talked about it, that she said that in these other files that haven't been released yet or they haven't shown us, it mentions that Oswald, I don't know if you knew this, Oswald wasn't up in the building. He was actually next to the he was next to the car.
Yeah.
He was next to the
there's barely footage being found more and more.
There's footage of it. It hasn't been released yet, like I said.
MSNBC has it.
Yes. Yeah. Why
Exactly.
don't they want to release it? Why?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's footage of him walking next to the damn car from another camera angle, not the Zapruder film, the infamous Zapruder film, who was filmed by one of the usual suspects. That's the only film footage we have.
Yeah.
But there's other footage out there that MSNBC has that shows freaking Oswald next to the damn car, walking next to JFK's car.
Yeah.
And are we ever gonna see that? I don't know.
Probably not.
I think Anna Paulina Luna has her hands tied. She probably can't do it. Maybe they're threatening her. They're gonna kill her. Maybe they're gonna threaten her to kill her family. Who knows? But that guy right there from on Instagram account Judicial Watch. I don't know if he's left. I don't know if he's right. I just barely heard about the guy, but he's saying the right thing and calling them out and suing them. And I think he has every damn right to.
Yeah.
We need to know the freaking truth.
Yeah.
I don't care who gets in trouble or what happens. I don't know what is the downfall of where the dominoes lie, but damn it, we want the truth.
If anything, we should be protesting that.
That's what we should be protesting
for
we
sure.
shouldn't be protesting Elon Musk and Teslas. We need to be protesting this garbage right here.
Yeah.
That we're not getting the truth.
Yeah.
All right, there's my rant. Let me get off my
for sure,
soapbox.
100%.
And okay, so as we were getting, let's get back on track about us as human beings playing God. Play that video right there. Look at this, guys. This is creepy as hell. Look at this robot. It gets worse. Have you seen this video?
No.
Oh, dude. This is an update. Oh, look at the fingers. Watch the chest. The chest muscles. Everything, dude. Creepy, man. I think we have to just get us off the. So let me click on that real quick. So it says right here, meet clone's first musculoskeletal android protoclone. That's a mouthful. The most anatomically accurate robot in the world, based on a natural human skeleton, protoclone is actuated with over 1,000 myofibers. Clone's proprietary artificial muscle technology. Learn more at clonerobotics.com. How did you guys feel about that? That was creepy as hell. Mm-hmm. It's getting more and more human-like.
It kind of reminds me of like Fallout 4 with the synths.
Oh, really?
Because they do stuff like that. They do stuff like that.
When they showed the fingers and he was moving them, bro.
Well,
that gave me the
it's really
creeps,
weird.
man.
Okay, so
and I could watch it over and over again. It still freaks me out, man.
When you go to the Institute facility, which makes the synths, when you go there, there's literally an area in which it shows them being made. So they show the skeleton being worked on, and then they show the muscles and all this stuff going through, and then they dip them something, and skin comes out. It's so freaking weird. It is so freaking weird.
Yeah, and again, that's not AI that made that video. It's real. It's a real company. Go check out that website that I mentioned. You don't have to bring that up. I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
Supposedly, scientists announced first baby born via robotic sperm injection system. So now we're making baby robots. I don't know, man. Developed by Conceivable Life Science, New York and Guadalajara. Great partnership, whatever. This system automates all 23 steps of ICS, including laser-guided sperm immobilization and injection. That is... planet's going to hell. Hell in a handbasket. And then check this out. So South Korea legalizes by law robots walking freely among pedestrians. Dude, is this becoming iRobot or what?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna be Will Smith's character, dude. I'm gonna hate these damn robots. I'm not gonna trust a single one.
Yeah.
If I see it walking down the street, dude, I'm walking way far away from it, dude. Because the scary thing is too, man. How do we know that hackers are gonna hack these things to kill people, to murder people?
Yeah.
Where's the laws on that? There's gonna have to be all new laws created for these robots.
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy, man. I don't like where it's going, man. Have we not seen Terminator? Have we not seen iRobot? Come on, guys. You guys, scientists are supposed to be smart, man. Come on, y'all. What are y'all doing out
Well,
there?
they are smart. They're just not gonna fail at it.
Jeez Louise. All right,
They're gonna do what's right.
so check this out. Check out this video right here. Let me see. Scroll down. Okay, so bring up the picture first. Bring that up, man.
one? Okay.
Yep, bring it up. Screen record. Kawasaki Heavy Industries Group just announced Corleo. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a real-life mech beast. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty dope
cool.
looking. I'm not gonna lie.
It's named Corleo, part robot, part motorcycle. Fully insane. This isn't sci-fi. It's the future of personal mobility. Look at that, you guys. Now check out the video. Bring up the video.
All right.
Check this out. Oh, I didn't know that. You mentioned. Hopefully won't mess with the So, and I'm gonna sound kind of contradictory here, contradictory, but or how you want to phrase that. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that
just
is
said
pretty dope.
I'm against robots, but how about this? I'm more scared, more freaked out by the human-like robots.
Yes, yes.
You know, the cyborg. That right there is pretty dope because I'm into motorcycles.
Yeah.
I've owned motorcycles. I've owned plenty of them. I love riding motorcycles, and that looks like a fun motorcycle to ride, man.
What's cool is that I like how they kind of made a connection with Zero Dawn Horizon.
Oh yeah,
That's
on
what
that,
the-
yeah, on the
game
side right there on the
and
comments.
I was kind of thinking of that too, of the shirt up right there, bam, Zero
Yeah.
Dawn Horizon. So that was actually, I don't know, really, it's really interesting to see that. Like, would I ride that? I don't know. Motorcycles. I'm afraid of motorcycles. Actually, I'm not
Yeah.
like you. You're the daredevil. But honestly, I don't know, dude. Like, I think it'd be pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. So you know what it reminded me of because it showed that screen record that.
Okay.
This right here is called Crying Wolf. It's one of the main bosses in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Because of the
That's what that reminded me of, dude. So when I saw that video, I was like, I've seen this before. Where the hell? Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, look at that, guys. Crazy. And that's the scary thing too, is that they could militarize it, which I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
And put weapons on it, and you know what it kind of looked like with weapons too? Zoids. Remember
Yeah.
Zoids?
Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember Zoids.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm scared, but yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I love my motorcycles, man.
looks-
and that
it
looks like
looks
a
cool.
that looks like an animal. You know, it's cool.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
It
man.
does.
It looks
really
cool.
does.
It really does. Yeah. So weren't you say you were gonna bring something up about the robots or something, or you were gonna say
No,
something?
that's about it.
Oh, that-
I was more about the dire wolves. That
Oh,
was my
gotcha,
thing.
gotcha. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time is running out. We're gonna call it a night. Like I said, we're gonna take a week break, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll discuss that some more. But I think this is gonna be a week, and we got a lot of catching up to do in the next few weeks. And again, go Giants. God bless.
Catch you next time.